Oh man, guys, who's ready to cringe? I think the time has come because I went through some of my old hard drives the other day and I found my first Minecraft world ever. And I went through it and it was pretty bad because anyone who's been with my channel for a while knows that I've built some pretty decent things in my time. The Triskelion, the vineyard, I'm working on a giant mountain, I built a temple. But when I started playing Minecraft, I built more like this. Here we are outside of my very first Minecraft base. Yeah, it was a dirt hut. It was kind of sand. It had a few windows. I was clearly the best builder around in 2011. So I started this world in 1.2 beta, I believe it is. Whatever the update was just before the Nether was introduced into the game. And well, this used to be a hillside, if I remember correctly, and this was my house. It didn't have any proper walls, it didn't have a proper floor, and this furnace is actually glitched. It's always on, and yeah, you come down here into my basement, and I have a bunch of dirt chests. This is back when food didn't stack, and pork chops were the only food in the game. It actually used to be called meat, I think. But yeah, this was this was my house and my storage room. Oh, that's very close up. Yeah, this is how I used to build. But wait, it gets better. After the Nether came out, I decided I wanted to experiment with the Netherrack and stuff always being on fire. So naturally, what was the next thing I do? I built a dirt castle, and I didn't even build it properly. See, look at the battlements. I don't know what this is, but I don't like it. And was there any interior? Oh, I actually started making floors at this point. So, ooh, Stone Age. Yeah, this is a step up from my starter house because it actually has a floor and some wooden stairs, but it's only too high, so it's a headbanger. And if you come up here, yeah, this was just dirt. No real floor up here. But yeah, so this was my second build on this world. I also thought that lava was the coolest thing in the world, so I brought a bucket of it up to the surface and displayed it beside my mine, as any good Minecrafter would do, because this looks amazing. And then it was time for me to build something that was not completely made out of dirt. So I mined up a bunch of cobblestone, and let me tell you, this actually took a long time in the beta versions of Minecraft because diamonds were extremely hard to come across. And there was no enchantments of any sort, no beacons, no potion effects, so just mining this took forever. But I built my first house that was not made of dirt, and it had a real floor and a carpet, and I wasn't very good at centering things, so this staircase is actually off a block. And yeah, I actually had real rooms. This was this was my kitchen. If I were to do this now, then there would be no fence posts, that's for sure. Because, well, try eating at this table. It's it's a little bit high. I think I need a booster seat. And then it's missing a back wall, but we'll go into that more a bit later. And then I had a little bit of an upstairs, and I thought this design for a TV was just the coolest thing, with a bunch of obsidian and then this really dirty, I guess, couch. And then you come over here to the extremely amazing basement staircase. And once again, giant TV made out of dirt this time. It was kind of a budget TV with an enormous armchair and another bedroom over here. And for some reason, off of the bedroom, I had this janky staircase going down to a bunch of potential things that I could build. Another bedroom was supposed to be over here, but I never finished that, I guess. And a animal farm down here. So this actually worked as an animal farm back in 1.2 because animals just spawned on grass in light areas. So they could actually spawn underground like this, and you could get a bunch of pigs spawning every night and all that. And I think this is just storage over here. Yeah. C4 stashes. Interesting. Oh, you know what this may have been? This may have been my attempt at recreating the SGC. So, for anyone who doesn't know what that is, that's Stargate Command. My favorite TV show is and always has been Stargate SG-1 and Stargate Atlantis. So, I think this is when I started trying to reproduce the SGC. Wow, that's a lot of ladders. And would it surprise anyone to know that there's absolutely nothing at the bottom of these ladders? Okay. Ooh, there's a tunnel that goes off in this direction too, and it's completely made of wool. What does this connect up to? Water? Solid. Glad we went on this journey. And then I had just a bunch of storehouses around here, and this is when I started trying to create my first version of a village, and this is back before villages were even a concept in the game. And yeah, I had my furnace array over here, and a storage room across from it, I think. Yeah, a warehouse, and this was my extremely amazing storage room design because you couldn't put chests beside each other at this point in the game. Ah, yes, everyone had an incinerator room back in the day, and it was literally just a wall of lava that you could throw items into. Not a bad design to this day, actually. Pantry, which is just a bunch of chests. That's cool. Ah, yes, wheat farm. As you can tell, this would feed many, many villagers. Just in case anyone didn't know what this is an infinite water source, which has been in the game forever. Yeah, I don't know why I labeled it. And then a storehouse, a workshop, which is literally just a crafting table and a furnace, and a house, which is literally just a bed, but that'll come in handy right now. But yeah, that was my early attempt at a village, and right around the time that I finished that, a new thing came out in Minecraft, and it was pretty much the first mod ever, and it was called Single Player Commands. And as you can see behind me, I kind of went nuts with it. So Single Player Commands was basically just commands as they're known in Minecraft today, because you could summon blocks, you could give yourself invincibility, all that kind of stuff. But it used to be an absolute pain to spawn blocks in because you had to do it by the block ID. So if I wanted iron, I would have to find the block ID for iron, which could be like 194, for example, and then I'd have to type in the command give Kingelffe 64194, and I would have to do that every single time I wanted to do a spawn, and I couldn't just do up enter. No, I had to enter in that command every single time I wanted to get a stack of the item. But then I just started building more houses, and this one was made completely out of iron. As you can see, I did learn my lesson. I have a wooden floor and a not dirt wall here. And as every good cheater back in the day did, I had a diamond block house and a mossy cobblestone roof, because mossy cobblestone was like the rarest thing in the game because you could only get it in dungeons back at that point. But once again, I learned my lesson with the kitchen because I didn't have it just hiked up to the ceiling for height. Like, I can actually see over this counter. And for the first time ever, I built a backyard, which is literally just a bunch of grass and a stupid table that I can't see over again. And the diamond block house had a basement as well, which was pretty massive and had my first target range in the basement. So this is my version of a target block, like 10 years before the target block came out. And this went even further into, I believe, a underwater glass area. Yep, here it is. So this was going to be the extension of the house from there. So this is before sponges actually did anything in the game, so I actually had to haul this all out by hand. Granted, I was cheating by this point, but it was still quite the ordeal to do because, well, water really sucked back then. And I'm not even going to pretend to remember what this room was, but it looks pretty bad, doesn't it? Oh, there's stairs going down. Let's see where it goes. Ah, no, this was my attempt at building Stargate Command, that's for sure. What is going on with this chest? Okay. But yeah, this would have been the control room, that would be the gate room, and that's how I got into the nether in this world. So yeah, this apparently this building did have a use. It just wasn't very pretty, I guess. Yeah, this was the nether portal. I don't think there was anything on the other side, to be perfectly honest. Oh, then again, I've been wrong before. What is this? Giant glowstone tower. Is there anything down here? Oh, there's redstone. Okay. Nether portal. What is this? Another control room, I guess? I'm not even gonna pretend to know what this is. Yep, nope. don't know. Ah, yes, and this is when you used to be able to put water in the nether too. I forgot about that, and I really miss it, honestly. It would be really cool if we could get water in the nether somehow. Come on, Mojang. How have you not implemented this into the game? Now it's time to address this monstrosity. So, like I said, Stargate Atlantis was one of my favorite shows growing up, and still is one of my favorite shows. And this was my attempt at building the control tower from Atlantis. It looks horrendous, but at the time I thought it looked really good, building it all out of glowstone, one of the ugliest blocks in the game. Oh man, you know what? I don't even want to be in here. This looks so terrible. We're leaving right now. But yeah, I don't know why I didn't think to blow this up earlier in my Minecraft career, because after that is when I started learning how to use TNT and redstone, as you can clearly see from my world and what used to be a structure of some sort there, and my dirt house blew up. Yeah, I started playing around a lot with TNT and seeing how big of a hole I could make, because, yeah, I used a lot of TNT here, as you can probably see. There were no caverns in the game anywhere close to this big back then. So, yeah, I just blasted it. But yeah, this was my very first single-player world, and I played in it for probably about 3 or 4 months before multiplayer actually became stable to play with your friends, and then I started playing on a bunch of different servers. Primarily, I think it was Silocraft at the time I was playing with my buddy, but you can even see where the borders of the old terrain generation and the new terrain generation are. So you can see that I really didn't explore that far in this world. But because of how early on I was playing in the game, it seemed like I had walked for miles every time I went from even, like, where is it? Oh, I've lost my base. How have I lost my base? Even when I went from my base over here to this cobblestone house, it seemed like I was walking for miles. But in reality, I barely scratched the surface of what this world even looked like. But yeah, there's a little bit of an insight into where I came from as a Minecraft builder. I went from builds like this to builds like this and builds like this. And I plan to continue with the, you know, not dirt house builds going forward. But I have some awesome plans for the Enigma SMP server coming up, so make sure to stay tuned for that. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, that way you don't miss any future content by me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!